Bill C-51, an act with an incredibly wordy name that does a bunch of things, including but not limited to repealing several criminal code offenses that are obsolete and or redundant, including publishing blasphemous libel, section 296 of the criminal code, repealing a blasphemy law. What could possibly go wrong? While not specifically defined in the criminal code itself, it's very clear in interpretations by judges in certain cases that Section 296 of the criminal code is not about all religions or any religion. It's not even about Christianity. It's very specifically about Roman Catholicism. In fact, the last person to ever be prosecuted under this law was a reverend of the Anglican Church of Canada who had blasphemed in print against the Roman Catholic Church. Repealing this law. I'm not like a devout atheist, whatever the fuck that might mean, but I'm all for freedom of expression, and we should be able to criticize and even chide and deride whatever the hell we want, especially religion. So, I'm for the repeal of this law in principle. I wouldn't say it's because I'm a skeptic, trademark. It's because I'm paranoid. That my paranoia poses me this question: why now? 80 years we've basically ignored this law. Why are we repealing it now? Lucky for me, my paranoia loves to answer its own questions. And what it answered was M103. If you're not familiar with M103, it was a motion passed by Canadian Parliament that calls for a study to look into how the government can end Islamophobia through amendments of the Charter of Rights and Freedoms or perhaps the Criminal Code. And I don't want to get into the entirety of it. I've done like 3 videos on this already. I'm going to try and link it here. I think I can do that. We have the technology. And if you haven't seen it, bear with it. It's a little pretentious, but all the information in it is good. Solid. If we develop, because of M103, some sort of Islamic blasphemy law or specific protections for Islam in the criminal code, people will be prosecuted under those laws. If people are prosecuted under those laws, there will be demands that people be prosecuted under this law. You can't prosecute people under this law if this law doesn't exist. Now again, none of this is evidence that that's happening, but I can't help but see a pattern, a series of unfortunate events that looks like it's leading down this kind of rabbit hole. And I mean, after C-51 takes effect, and I imagine it would take effect before M103 study is finished and prescribes amendments or to the Charter of Rights and Freedoms and the Criminal Code, and those amendments take effect, there will be an interim where any such complaints for against Islam or against the Roman Catholic Church would be dealt with by our hate propaganda laws, which are basically just as ridiculous as the blasphemous libel law. But these exist. Now, in our hate propaganda laws, we define identifiable groups to mean any section of the public distinguished by color, race, religion, national or ethnic origin, age, sex, sexual orientation, or mental or physical disability. But it seems, as far as I can tell, that our courts heavily favor minorities with this definition. An indigenous woman, the name of Tamara Crowchief, cried out, "I hate white people," while striking a white woman named Lydia White. I'm not making it up, I swear. Crowchief struck White in the mouth, knocking out one of her teeth while yelling, "I hate white people." After she was arrested, she told police the white man was out to get her, and none of this was enough to convince the judge that this attack was racially motivated. And you know, like a fucking Canadian, White said, "I don't understand why this woman did this." She did it because she hates white people. Like, it's not... They do this with people shouting Allahu Akbar and pledging allegiance to ISIS, and with "I hate white people." What? How could we know what their motivation was? They're still talking about Pulse nightclub, and we don't know what the shooter's motivation was. You know, we take trolls at their word, but not people who violently assault other people. What? And you wonder why I'm paranoid. Relevant links to shit I said in the description? Maybe. I'm Irving Twin. Like, subscribe, or don't. It's a free country. At least it used to be.